Not your average tabletop. Woohoo!
Welcome back to Not Your Average Tabletop. I'm Zach.
And I'm Pepper,
And what are we doing right now, Pepper?
giving our first impressions of Naga Raja. Not to be confused with Kanagawa, which is also from Bruno Cathala, or Raptor, which is also from Bruno Cathala and Vincent Dutrait artwork.
That's true. Or Maharaja.
Or Maharaja.
Which is not Bruno Cathala, I don't believe.
Don't think so.
It
We'll
could
have
be,
to look
but
it up.
could be.
Sounds like a game that would be his.
It could be him, actually, but I don't know that it is.
But this is a classic Bruno Cathala 2-player game. Plays in under 30 minutes. Variable player powers. 9+ age.
It's
The
pretty
classic.
typical.
But yeah, this is a 2-player only game, and it's not really variable player powers.
Right.
I was thinking Raptor there. You each kind of have a temple, and you're using card play to roll fate sticks, which are kind of these stick dice, to kind of use pips and naga on those dice to use abilities on the cards in your hand, or win the current tile that is up for bid with your pips on your dice. If you win the tile, you put it in your temple, and you try to access these different relics around the edges of your board, which will get you different points. Sometimes there's little bonuses on the tiles that will give you points or abilities, and pretty much first to 25 points.
Wins the game.
Which, I don't know if I explained that well, but it's a pretty simple game.
Yeah, I would agree. A lot of it definitely makes sense once you're getting into it. Definitely it's a lot of tile placement with route building, I guess you could kind of say it is, to those different relics. It's a pretty quick game as well with the kind of bidding of the cards, because your cards in your hand have little symbols up on the top, and so to actually do the bidding portion, you can play as many as you want as long as those symbols match. And I think that is really neat how that works, because I don't know for a fact, because we've only played it one time, but I think kind of the sticks that you could otherwise, or the sticks that you get from those are kind of somehow related to, or like those symbols are kind of related to the bottom powers as well, so symbol, kind of how all that goes together. I feel like it almost makes it seem like it's balanced in a way, because it's like they're related in a way. And at least from what I noticed in the cards, it seemed like that. So then you could kind of, like you said, use those to bid, or you can use them, like you said, to activate powers if you get some naga from your stick rolls.
So like the more points that are on the sticks, the less naga there's going to be. So it's like, do you want to roll these lower, smaller dice to get more card activations?
Right.
Or do you want to roll higher ones to just try to win that tile if it's a really good tile?
And I really like that. And because, the cards, usually the ones with, I think a lot of naga smaller dice, also had the ones with the bonus pips on the bottom of the cards if you played those. And I like how you can go back and forth on that. It's kind of like a Dune Imperium. When you're doing the battling in that one, you can... Am I thinking right? Yeah. You can add those conflict cards in. Where, like, if you're battling for a spot, you can kind of either pass, or you can add a card into that. It's kind of similar to that when you're playing your cards.
Kind of like you can play a card, they pass...
You can do another one
again, then they can possibly respond.
So that's kind of what that reminded me of, even though I think this one came first. So,
Dune Imperium stole from Nagaraja. Get Bruno Catala's name on that box.
Dune Imperium duel. He's gonna get involved, I can tell. But no, I agree. It seemed also very similar to Raptor, which, like you had mentioned, as Bruno Cathala as well, where you're playing cards, and they kind of have the almost not really multi-use, but multi-use sort of feeling in a way as well. It felt very similar to that. And I would say, since it was a Bruno Cathala game, especially at 2 players, I think I was a little more excited for this one, even though I hadn't really looked too much into it. Those wooden dice were a little gimmicky, but they were fun.
Yeah.
They did add to the excitement a little bit, I will say. But yeah, overall, I would say I was excited, but I wasn't like, wow, I really, really want to play this game.
Yeah, I think you had kind of showed me this game a lot, like years ago. I think it must have been on sale or something at Miniature Market, so I looked at it. I don't know why.
And you bought it then?
Yes, I
And
bought
you've
it.
just been saving
I've
it
just
for-
holding it for for 3 years. I was just waiting until you were ready, until you learned to respect Bruno Catala design. But yeah, I don't know. I was excited for it then. I'd seen the Fate sticks and thought, oh, those are really cool. But for some reason, didn't get it. But now, as we've played more Bruno Catala games, I've just really become excited anytime I hear that a game is from him. And
How about Splendor Duel?
I'm actually excited because he did Seven Wonders Duel. I didn't really like Seven Wonders. Love Seven Wonders Duel. Don't really like Splendor. Kind of in the same batch, I would say, as Seven Wonders. So I'm pretty excited about that, actually.
Sorry to mess you up. I shouldn't have asked that.
But yes. But yeah, and I went back to this game, and I looked at it. Z Garcia really loves it, and it's Bruno Catala, and kind of looked more into the card play of it, and I'm like, this Bruno guy. I'm surprised he didn't design Gone Shown Clever, because everything he does is clever. It feels
Wow.
like every game. I can't think of a game that he does where there's not something clever, like Five Tribes, the Moncala aspect, and kind of each of those types having an ability. And like you said, Raptor, kind of the card play there, and the action points and the action. This one's kind of similar to
right.
that, where you can kind of use the cards for the top, for the sticks, to battle there. And maybe you want to roll lower point sticks to get the Naga to activate your other cards.
Right.
And all the different abilities that you can use. I just love the card play in this game. And I was very excited for it, obviously, because Bruno. And it lived up to my expectations.
Oh boy.
Am I going to give out a fourth 10 in this batch of filming that we've done?
Oh boy, I don't
We'll
know. Yeah, I would agree. I like a lot of it as well. I don't know that I'd liked it nearly as much as you.
yeah.
I think there's a little bit of Take That. There's some Take
Yeah,
That cards
yep.
in there, which I felt could kind of dampen the
Long
experience.
hair wrapped up in my hand. Damn it, Michaela!
It could dampen the experience, I think, a
Yeah,
little bit. You could
yeah.
have something pretty
'Cause
decent
I
going,
had
and then get
one
it.
card where I could rotate a tile in my own thing, and I think there's another one that can rotate one in someone else's. And if I had been able to do that, I could have pretty much cut off 3 or 4 of your relics that you currently had access to, which is like 20 points.
Right.
But then again, you could possibly move some things around yourself with those card abilities.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's clever that you can do those types of things. But yeah, in general, I don't love take that-y type
Yeah.
things. But I can see where it is, because this is like it does feel like a kind of a battling game, since it is a
yeah.
2-player game. You're kind of going back and forth.
Nagaraja Duel.
Nagaraja Duel. Yes. So I can see why it's there, but yeah, I could see how that could kind of ruin the experience if you kind of had things going decently well
yeah.
for you.
Yeah.
Because you could. I was at that time when you had the card that could only do it for yourself, but
Yeah.
like you said, if you'd had that other one, I was at the point where I knew that turn. I think if I could win the tile, I was going to
yeah.
win, because I knew
Yeah.
what my tokens were. So
Yeah.
I knew that was a possibility.
Yeah.
But then if that would have happened, that would have been pretty disappointing. But yeah,
Yeah.
like you said, I would have had cards to maybe adjust some of those things, but
Yeah.
still could have,
Could have given me enough time to possibly come back.
right.
But yeah,
And
and there is...
I do also like the Bruno kind of bringing in, I don't know if I'd say Seven Wonders Duel, but kind of the opposite of Seven Wonders Duel, where you have those alternate win conditions.
Oh,
There's an
yes,
alternate
yeah.
loss condition
Yes.
of if you have 3 of your relics that are the 6 points,
Yep,
or is it 5?
6.
6 points that are red. If you reveal all 3 of those, you lose automatically. So
Yeah, the most valuable
I do like
ones can possibly lose you the game.
I do like that, because that gets you on the edge of your seat a little bit, because that's how I knew what my other 2 were, because I had to look
yep.
at them, because I did have 2 of the red ones.
Yep.
But yeah, it would have been interesting too, because like I think some of the cards would have
Yeah, you
allowed
can
you
kinda
to swap your opponents. Maybe could
Yep.
you have done that?
Yep.
And you could have taken
Yeah.
a chance on just hoping that You know,
Oh,
you
yeah.
could have tried to
Yeah,
give
but-
me the red one or
Yeah,
something.
but once you had gotten ability to look at them, it didn't really matter which one I swapped. You would have just gone with the
Well,
other one because
I'm saying you could have went for the win by
by
trying to
swapping.
force
Oh, yeah,
me
by
to have
swapping.
3.
That's right. Yep, I could.
Is what I meant.
That's
yeah,
right. Yeah.
you switching those around wouldn't change
matter.
anything.
Yep.
But yeah.
Yep. Yeah. That. Oh, that would be.
I see.
that would be
In
good.
that case, I don't mind to take that as much.
yeah.
Because that's kind of taking more of a chance on
Yeah.
your part doing
Yep.
that if you don't
Yep.
if you don't know what they are, because you
Yeah.
could look at them too. But
Yeah.
if you don't know what they are and you're just doing a Hail Mary and that
Yeah.
works, that I'm totally fine with. But
yeah.
I think the other portion where, I mean, I feel like things kind of in games where it's like to prolong the game
Oh, yeah.
to give yourself a chance. I get it, but at the same time, it's kind of like,
yeah.
now we just made the game 10 minutes longer, and maybe I end up winning anyway. And
Yeah.
it's like, did we have to play those extra 7 minutes?
Yeah.
Type thing. So,
Yeah.
yeah. But overall, I did enjoy my play of it, and look forward to playing it a few more times, giving it a few more tries.
Yeah.
Kind of like Raptor, haven't played that one
yeah.
too many times either. I'd like to give both of those a few more plays.
yeah,
Kind
yeah.
of see what my final thoughts are on them. I think you probably like them a little bit
Yeah.
more than I do, but I still like them quite a bit.
Yeah. Yeah, my first impression rating. I don't remember what I gave Raptor, but I would say this is about equal with that. So whatever that number is, put that up on the screen. I'd say this ties that. I'm guessing it's around
A 9.
9, I would
Really.
say.
Yeah, and I would give this one similar to Raptor as well. And I think I gave that around a 7, 7.5. It's one that I'm definitely wanting to take out and play, especially if someone wanted to play it, but probably not one that is going to maybe make like my top 50 of all time games, or it's not going to be one that I'm like always like pushing like, oh, you gotta try this game.
Yeah.
One of those types of things. But
Yeah.
yeah.
This is, I guess, yeah. I feel like this could also have 4 players.
That is what I, for some reason,
Kind of like Karuba Duel.
as we were going through this, even though I knew it was a 2-player game, I was like, how would this have played if we played at the 4-player count? And I'm like, wait a minute, it isn't a 4-player game, it's 2 players. In my mind, though, I was thinking 4 players because it seems like one that could play
Yeah.
with more.
Yeah,
but it might
The
get
bidding
to be too
might
long.
be weird.
Yeah, I
and
think
yeah,
that's probably
kind
what
of
it is.
each person getting a tile will extend the game quite a bit, I would think.
Yeah.
Um,
So that would probably be why, but you could probably change some things.
Yeah.
So maybe if you were bidding, you could
yeah.
be bidding for 2 different tiles at once, and then whoever has the most gets first choice, and second most has
yeah.
second choice, or something
Yeah.
like that. But
yeah,
yeah.
but yeah, I really like it. I think it does have a lot of take that, like kind of canceling out a card, which you did to me,
Oh,
which
yeah.
was kind of pretty devastating. And I got to I got to remove a card from your hand, and it was actually the one trap card. Which kind of brings in like a volcano type tile that you can put on someone's board. I was like waiting. I'm like, when is this card gonna come out? When is this trap? And the tile's just sitting there the whole game. And I play this to remove a random card from his hand, and it's that trap card. And that was a pretty cool moment. I feel.
That was pretty
I think
cool. The funniest thing was I really wasn't wanting to
Yeah.
play it that much
Yeah.
for the trap, but it was funny how you did end up picking that one to make it look like I was just waiting to slam it down and be like, take that. But no, yeah, it's definitely one worth trying
Yeah,
out, especially if
for sure.
you like to play a lot of 2-player games. If you like Bruno Catala, feels like a lot of classic Bruno Catala in the game. So
Yeah.
otherwise, we hope to see you on the next video. And as always, don't forget to
Keep on nibbling.
on our content.